Kari Lake is catching up, probably tied with Rueben Gallego in Arizona for the Senate seat. Don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback.
Kari Lake never left. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. I've got this great article from Newsweek with an update on Kari Lake. One of the big growth parts of this channel was because we covered so much of Kari Lake. Just a quick note, I have one little piece here. This is a list of the speakers for the Republican National Convention, which is going to be largely by request of Trump. You'll see J.D. Vance is there, Tim Scott, Marsha Blackburn, Ted Cruz, Ron Johnson, and Kari Lake will be speaking from Arizona. Long-time MAGA Kari Lake. Here's Newsweek. Kari Lake gets good news in Arizona. Controversial Senate candidate Kari Lake. By the way, I can't think of anything why she's controversial. I don't get why they have to call her controversial. Okay. She's closed a polling gap in Arizona where she previously trailed by 13 points to progressive Democrat Rueben Gallego. This is about the Democrat brand being demolished by Trump, and Biden are both demolishing the Democrat brand. Because for a while there, Rueben Gallego was way up there. So what's changing in Arizona? They're all changing their minds by 13 points. That is an outrageous number. That puts Rueben Gallego, he's on his back feet. This is really, really strong, good, solid news for Kari Lake. 13 points. You don't even hear about that in elections, okay? Usually if you're 13 points down, it's done. And, probably the border issue is huge. So the latest poll by Remington Research Group conducted for conservative news site The Daily Wire showed that Lake and Gallego are neck and neck on 47% each ahead of November's election. The new poll, Remington's first for the 2024 Arizona Senate race, suggests a remarkable turnaround for Lake, who has trailed Gallego in every state poll since February, including one in May, where she was 13 points adrift. That was just in May, guys. It's been 2 months, less than 2 months. Newsweek has contacted Kari Lake and Rueben Gallego for a comment. The new poll, which surveyed 638 likely voters in Arizona between June 29th and July 1st, was backed by a partisan Republican sponsor, American fuel and petrochemical manufacturers, but Remington is a reputable pollster with national polling aggregator 538 ranking in 28th on the list of 227 polling firms for its historical track record and transparent methodology, giving it a rating of 2.6 stars out of 3. So this is respectable. Although she has consistently trailed in polls, and I'd like to see other polls, by the way, come out and weigh in on this, Lake's campaign hopes have been recently reignited when she began to close Gallego's 6-month lead. He led by only 1 point in a June poll conducted by North Star Opinion Research. Now, this is very important because her speaking at the RNC is huge for her brand because remember, Trump is now a winner. And so having that kind of a winner underline someone like Kari Lake in Arizona shows if you're MAGA and you're going down ticket, I don't see why you'd split your vote and say, yes, I'm very pro-Trump, and yes, I'm voting for Rueben Gallego. It's not going to happen. What's going to happen is Biden is going to drag all the down ticket people. This is why they say that they want to replace Biden. One of the biggest reasons is to try to secure Congress and the Senate. They're trying to get all of these down ticket races that Biden is going to destroy. So let's hope Biden continues to lose, continues to do bad. The Democrats continue to hemorrhage and Trump continues to win. Lake shot to national prominence as a figure, former President Donald Trump's MAGA movement after stepping down as news anchor, and she ran for Arizona governor in 2021. She ran a campaign focused on securing the U.S. border, protecting gun rights, and protesting COVID-19 lockdowns, cancel culture, and woke school curriculums, all of which have only gotten more popular since then. So the actual issues she supports, there's more public sentiment toward her instead of dismissing her as a crazy, controversial figure. It's becoming, controversy is becoming mainstream. She lost the election to Katie Hobbs by just over 17,000 votes and refused to concede because she believed the election was unfair. Fair enough. Lake's 2022 loss has continued to follow her into her 2024 Senate campaign this year. She has seen multiple legal setbacks, including in March, admitting that she defamed a fellow Republican by accusing him of a plot to rig the 2022 gubernatorial election, and in June, losing her sixth appeal, contesting the results of that same election. So she tried doing this through the lawfare stuff. We covered a lot of those trials. And you know how tough the legal side of everything is, depending on what judge you get and what jury you get, and how popular you are or not, starts to influence judges in all these court cases. In January, Lake's Senate campaign was revealed to be divisive among Arizona Republicans. True, because remember, she came out against McCain. She's famous for going after the McCain family, which is big in Arizona. When the state's party chair resigned after an audio recording surfaced in which he purportedly offered Lake money in exchange for her staying out of politics for 2 years. Gallego represents a Phoenix area congressional district. So Phoenix is going to be the big city, and all big cities, and even in our red states, they're the ones that drag it blue because that's where all the people are stacked up together. And, they're not, it's not good for America what happens in the cities. You're less reliant on yourself. You tend to be more fall into peer pressure of your neighbors. Prior to politics, he served in the U.S. Marines. Thank you for your service, Rueben Gallego. I still hope you lose. During the invasion of Iraq, he is of Latino descent and was born and raised in Illinois and studied at Harvard. He's a Harvard boy. So he's a snob. He's an elite snob. He's Hispanic, but he, inside the package, is elite snobbery. This is a Harvard boy. He launched the Senate campaign in January 2024 after incumbent Kirsten Sinema left the Democrat Party to become an independent the month prior. Sinema was a controversial figure amongst Democrats during Joe Biden's term, offering up a thumbs down vote, along with a curtsy that went viral on YouTube in a federal minimum wage increase to $15, saying she will not support a $3.5 trillion reconciliation package and refusing to support drug pricing reform. So see, she should have joined the Republicans instead of going indie. In March, Sinema announced she was not standing for Senate, lamenting the partisanship. Oh, we're divided. You know why we're divided? Because I am divided from Democrats. I don't want anything to do with their platform. That's why we're divided. Don't blame me, blame them. They're the ones that keep pulling this Overton window, flying way over to the left of Karl Marx, okay? It's not my fault that we're divided. If you do all this stuff in what they're doing to kids in schools, what they're saying about life, what they're saying about the open border, yes, I'm going to be happily divided and partisan. I'm not on your side. I don't agree with you. Don't blame me. Don't say I'm part of this partisanship. I'm normal. Kirsten Sinema said she's saying it has provoked Americans to retreat farther to their partisan corners before stepping down. She trailed Gallego in polls and fundraising. The resulting two-horse race between Lake and Gallego will be key in November elections. So watch for this one to be a kind of a harbinger of things to come, the canary in the coal mine of what's going to happen to our purple swing states. And Arizona's been going more and more purple because of all the Californians going in. Arizona is the grease trap, capturing many of Californians' Democrats who have destroyed California and are now moving on to new ground to help destroy Arizona. Key in November elections where the Democrats are seeking to defend their razor-thin 50-49 majority in the Senate, as well as the White House. They have a very tiny gap. If Trump does well, guys, we can put some serious space and give, assuming Mike Johnson will still be Speaker of the House, give him some serious pad to start doing better work. That's what we need, is a better majority to give the White House, give Trump more support. So good news for Kari Lake. Let me know what you guys think. Are you still on board with the Kari Lake train? Any Mark Lamb fans out there who's running against her also? I'm Doug in Exile.